I'm going to be starting us off for the Dotloop class, and then Miss Kim Perry is going to take over in just a second. So I'm going to show y'all how to get into your Dotloop. So just start off in whatever internet browser you're comfortable in. And you're going to sign into your kw.com. You can also get into the login by going to mykw.kw.com. It's completely up to what, and you're going to sign in for kw.com. And then once you get here, if you look over at your eEdge control panel, right over here underneath My Transactions, you're going to see Start My Transaction. And this is where y'all will go to get signed in automatically to your Dotloop. So you just click right there, and I get taken straight into my Dotloop. So I have the admin Dotloop, so I'm going to switch to just my default profile. So y'all can see I've already tested out on a few stuff just to make sure that I knew how to use it. But I'm here to show you just a few things before Miss Kim Perry takes over. So when you get brought into your Dotloop, the first thing y'all see is your loops. So basically each transaction that y'all start, whether it be with a buyer or with a seller, like you're listing the house, you're going to start it off with a new loop. Okay? And so you just click on the red plus sign and you can create a loop. And so you can either name it, you know, if your buyer is Sally Sue, you can name it Sally Sue. If the listing is off and it tries to pull in the address of the house. If the listing is 123 Main Street, you can type that in, and it'll actually pull listings from Powered by Google. So it pulls it straight off of the Google Maps. So it's completely up to however y'all want to structure it. Before I actually create the loop and I show y'all a little bit of the actual loop and what it looks like on the inside, I do want to show you one more thing. Again, this is your loops. But if you come over 1, 2, 3, you will see templates. Now, templates are super important to do prior to creating y'all's loops and getting started in Dotloop. So I want everyone to start off in their templates first. And so everyone should have inbox, current documents, master buyer packet, master seller packet, Trek interactive forms, and the TAR forms. Everyone should have all of these. Some of y'all might have your own personalized templates that y'all have created, and I'm kind of here to show you why and how you can create those templates. So if we go into our master packet, and let's say I want to go ahead and give my buyer, Sally, a IABS form. If I come into the master buyer packet and I click on information about brokerage services, and I scroll all the way down here to try to edit it, okay, well, I'm an admin, so it'll let me edit it. But if I wasn't an admin, I wouldn't be able to edit it in the actual master packet. This is because it is the master packet, and so y'all's will be locked out if y'all are in here. So you wouldn't be able to change any of this down here. And y'all are going to want to be able to do that. And actually, y'all are going to want to be able to save it. So every single time you need your IABS form, you're never going to have to go back, put back in all that information. We want to keep it as a template, right? So what you're going to do for your buyer packet and for your seller packet is you're going to click on these 3 dots right next to buyer packet or seller packet, wherever you start. So click on it and click duplicate. It will then make another template folder for it. So now you can see it says copy of the master 2017 buyer packet. And so now if you go into your information about brokerage services and you scroll down, you guys are going to be able to now edit these once protected text boxes. And then once you do it, so let's have it. So Craig Owen is my licensed supervisor, 398-330. Craig Owen at kw.com, 210-493-3030, and then I would do my stuff, right? Now what I could do is I could save it, and if I go back, now always in my copy of master buyer packet will my IABS form be filled out. And so you're going to want to do this for every single form that you might feel it would be necessary to already have certain things filled out. There are going to be certain forms that there will be aspects of it that you will never change. Another really cool thing is you can structure it. So like if I know I always want my IABS form first, I can just grab it and move it around. And let's say maybe I want my buyer tenant representation agreement right underneath that. I just wait till I see the 4 arrows over it. I hover over it and then I click. And I'm actually clicking and I'm holding and I'm dragging. So don't just click and let go. Click, hold, and drag. And then you can see that these kind of go on forever. And you can also add another document. So if there's a char form that you always use or a trek form you always use, if you want to add a document to your buyer packet, you will be able to do that. There's a certain document that you always use. You'll have the ability to just look through your templates. And let's say I always want to use tar. I have to enter my nerd's ID. Let's just say you always want to use a trek form and you always want to have lead-based paint in there. You just select all the ones that you would want in there and you would just copy. It's going to say 1 of 1 imported. Okay. And now my addendum for lead-based paint will always be in there. If I have a certain form on my desktop or on my laptop that I use, it's on my actual computer, I can just hit browse, and if it's saved to my computer, I will be able to find it. So if I click browse, and I probably don't have anything that I can actually put in, but you can see that it opens up the computer. So if you wanted to, you could grab any which one of these. Let me see. Yeah, so usually it'll let you do PDFs. You can grab them and you can open it and it'll import that one specific document that you grabbed off of your computer and it'll let you put them in here. And then you always have your copy of your master buyer packet or your master seller packet. And then you can rename it, which is really nice. So if I wanted to rename it to maybe, and I clicked on the ... and then I clicked rename, and then it lets me actually change it. Maybe I wanted to name it CO for my initials, and I just hit enter, the actual button, enter, and now it changes it to CO buyer packet. And if I refresh, we'll see that reflected right here. CO 2017 buyer packet. And so now, that's really important, something I wanted to show you, because now when you go into your loops to create your loop, you'll actually have the template to grab documents from. So let's just say I want to create a loop. Let's say I'm working with Sally, and so I want to create a new loop, because I'm going to do this for every transaction I start with. Sally Sue. And I just click create loop. Okay. So now that I'm in here, the first few things I would always do is first I would select what kind of transaction type it is. So Sally, we're going to be purchasing a house. We can do the status of the loop. So it's pre-offer, under contract, sold, or archived. So we're going to do pre-offer. And the details is something I would always do first. This is helpful because if you already have a lot of the details of it, you will then be able to actually have it autofill into a lot of the contracts and certain documents. So it's actually pretty cool if you do it based off, if you start with details first, because then you can autofill into certain contracts when you start adding them. So if you already know the address of the house or the MLS number, you can put that right here and it'll autofill some of the stuff in the property address. Or if you want to do it manually, street address, 123 Main Street. No unit number, let's say it's in San Antonio, Texas. So it's as simple as just going through and adding all the details. If I can type today, 7248, county. And if you know the MLS number, coming down to financials, you can do the sale price, commission rate, the split, the buy side, the split, the sell side, sale commission total, earnest money. So coming in here and filling in all this stuff, the contract date, the closing date, offer dates, and some of the stuff you won't know, and that's completely fine. Remember, just these details are only helpful to autofill, so it just saves you time in the end of not having to go into every single contract and filling it in. So you have the option to do all of that, and then you can save it. And so I filled out all my details, and now I want to go back to the loop. So the next thing I would probably do is start adding the people. So I would want to probably add Sally to her loop. So I can always click add person. And then it lets me put her full name, her email, and she'll receive a welcome email. If you click the send intro email, she'll receive it. So she's actually knowing what she's getting. And you can always type a message like, hey, this is your trusted realtor. I am going to be sending you documents via this software. Call me if you have any questions. You can also set a role for her. So she is the buyer. And then you can set a phone number for her. Again, this is going to help you autofill. Street name of her, city of her, all this fun stuff. The cell phone for her, the state for her, all this fun stuff. And then you just click add person. And then you can just click add person. And now this person will receive a intro email. Sally's been added now to the actual loop. You can start adding different templates from your actual templates that we were just talking about. You can also add files from your computer. So maybe the seller had their file printed out and they scanned it to you and you saved it to your computer. You could click on browse from search and add any PDF from your computer into this folder. And now you could search through your computer for anything that you might have saved to your computer. Another really cool thing is that you can attach files you need to an email and you can send them actually directly to this folder. So if you click on the email, this will actually be the email that you send like any file to. So like let's actually say you had that seller send over the contract, signed contract, and they scanned it to you. You could just forward that email that they sent to you to this email and the actual file would get dropped into the loop. So it's actually pretty cool. Oh, sorry, my bad. We'll go back. I clicked on something. And so that's really cool when it comes to the email. So each loop is given a specific email, so keep that in mind. But typically, y'all will start by adding templates from your actual templates that you guys have created. And so you can see that it brings me back to all my templates. So if I come back to the buyer packet that I've already spent time updating, I can now just come in and add any of the documents that I might need into the loop. So let's say I want the IBS form and the buyer tenant representation agreement, and I just copy it into my loop. It's going to import it. Click OK. And so now they both will be there. And so now if I, maybe I want to come in here to edit the residential buyer tenant representation agreement because I want to make it specific to Sally, because you can see I haven't shared it with anyone yet. I can come right here into it. I just clicked on it. And this is where the autofill really comes into play. So that's why I was saying that it's important to fill out those details first, because you can see Bexar County's already been pulled. Sally Sue's already the buyer. I never put in the property, so it's asking for that. I never put in the commission rate, so it's asking for that. But if you already do this stuff in the beginning, it's going to autofill for you. If not, so it'll take all the details I do have already, and I can click autofill. And it'll fill it in for me. So if you can see, I didn't have to do any of that. It was already in there. And it already assigns, where my Sally Sue is going to sign. And so Sally Sue's name gets put in there. And it's actually pretty cool because then it goes and it autofills throughout the whole contract. So that's why autofilling actually can be super convenient. And then you can either save, or you can save and share after you've edited everything. But it's really up to you. So if I just click save, it's just going to save it to the Dotloop. And it tells me this document has not been shared. Would you like to share it? And I can just click no. And if you were to want to share it from the actual loop view, you would just hover over whichever document you wanted, and you would click share. And now you can share it with whoever you want. So Sally Sue, and she has 5 fields assigned to her. And you can do can sign, can view only, but then she wouldn't be able to sign anything. can fill and sign, so she can actually fill in things, and then can edit in private. Normally, y'all will just have can sign. And you can also add a custom message to this, so you can even explain it to her. This is you agreeing to have me represent you. And you can actually attach the PDF to the email so that she not only gets a Dotloop version of this, but she also gets a PDF version of this. And you would just click share and she would get it. I'm not going to click share because it's going to go to a random email. So I'm going to exit out of that. But when you do click share, it'll actually say how many people it's shared with. And y'all will always be sharing with admins, so keep that in mind. And the admins are just me and the their technology coordinator. So don't even worry about people spying on your loops. Y'all don't have to worry about that. We don't look through these. But yeah, and so that's kind of the basics of the loop and adding a document and all that great stuff.
Check it to make sure that everything comes in, and so that when you send off your documents, that everything that comes back is signed. Okay. So here on the third-party finance, we noticed that they weren't able to sign, so we made it to where they could. Okay. More of that. And then there's going to be signatures for the buyer. The buyer has not been assigned, see, because it says buyer can sign here. So we're going to assign that field. Now Kimberly can sign. Okay. HOA, fill out the form. Kim can sign here. Life's good. The affiliated form here. She's able to sign again. Buyer walkthrough, that comes way later in the process, but it's here. She's able to sign. So then on the appraisal language, it's not assigned to her just yet. Okay. So we're going to go and we're going to assign that to her. Okay. Disclosure, she's able to sign. Okay, so then on this form, you know, you always want to, if they say that they want like a home warranty, when you go to click it, it doesn't click. Okay, so we're going to decline the coverage. So we're going to go to add up here, and we're going to add a checkbox. We're going to click that. We're going to come down to where we want it to drop. Oop, dropped a little high. We'll just move it down a little bit to decline coverage. And then just click it, and there's the check mark. We've declined coverage on this particular form. Okay? Just go up, add, grab the checkbox, drop it down to where you want it, and then you're able to do that. Okay? Kim's able to sign here. Inspection. Yes, we choose to have an inspection, and Kim's able to sign that. Inspector list, good to go. There's 5 pages to the general information. I just know that. You'll figure that out really soon. The last page, the agent can sign, but the buyer can't. Now she's able to sign. So now you see how you go up and allow them and assign them their fields, okay? Not able to sign here. We're going to fix that. Oh, they need to sign this, but there's nowhere to sign it. So then we're going to go back to add. We're going to add a signature. I'm going to drop it. Just because I'm OCD, I have to put it close to the line. And we're going to assign it to Kim. Okay? That's an amendment for later. There's third party, there's the lead-based paint. Got that information. Got that going. Kim's able to sign, and the agent's able to sign. What is this one? Intermediary. So, okay, all those forms that we want to have signed have been assigned. Okay.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
It's great that it's got one form there, but when you do the transactions like A, B, C, D, then you get the like wires walked in the end. So you can send a piecemeal from right one at a time for them to sign, or you have to the whole file.
I'll show you that in just a second.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I was overwhelmed.
Got it.
Oh, I want the client before.
So, okay, now we're going to save that. Okay. We're going to save it. Oops, and then I remembered I didn't sign as the agent. So now we're going to go through and I'm going to sign as the agent. This is going to sign here. So now I'm going to sign as the agent. So if it's orange, that means you're able to sign it.
Once you
Okay.
sign, you gotta, I mean, no one can just save it, so
So it just saves everything.
does it give you like a warning if you don't?
It'll tell you, you have not saved your work, so then you can go back and save it. So now I'm going to go through and sign as the agent before I send it off. So sign now. It's going to give you the option you can adopt. So like when your clients, I'm going to also show you what it looks like when your clients receive it, so that when they call you and they're like, I have no idea what this is, you'll be able to explain it to them because you've seen it, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and adopt my signature as the agent, okay? And so it puts my initials there. Orange, I want to sign there. So then they just kind of scroll through and sign anything that's orange because it's assigned to them. Okay.
So this is the client.
No, I'm the agent now. I'm the agent now. So the agent doesn't sign the contract. Just going through the rest of the docs. Oops, there's an orange one for me. I'm going to sign it.
I have another quick question. I have enough knowledge to be dangerous.
No worries.
So like, you know, on the actual buyer's contract for 1 and 4, at the end for the option and the earnest money which is to be received, you have to print the whole contract out to take that in because you can't just take that one page to get it received to the title company or to the.
Start over again for me.
I know you're not the contract person, so in the sense that you do the contracts. But my question is that my concern is. When you have when someone's agreed, when you have the deal, effective date and all that, as the agent, you need to get the option received for the execution date within 3 days, and you need to also have the title company do it.
Correct.
So this is all electronic here, but you can't do that electronically. You have to take that over. They have to sign it physically.
Correct.
Okay. So my question is that you just print the contract out and take it over and have that done, or how
For the listing agent to sign and for the title to sign.
for the option fee and the earnest money.
So the option fee has to go to the seller,
Correct.
and the earnest money has to go to the title. I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second, because you don't have to print it out, you just email it to them.
That's not what, I mean, I always thought that, like, when I've sold homes, I mean, I haven't used this. I've done it on zip forms, so after everything's been signed and it's executed, I personally, I'm the buyer, I'll take it over to the listing agent.
But that's just a personal preference, because it doesn't have to be hand delivered to the title company or to the seller. So if you choose to personally take it over there, that's a personal preference. But some of us will just put it as a PDF in an email, and you email it to the listing agent, and you can email it to the title, and they can pull what they need out of it. So if they're only looking for page 9 to be able to receive that, they can go in, pull that, then they're going to email it
And they
back.
can do an electronic receipt on an option and an earnest.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but you need to deliver the checks physically.
But that's the checks, but he's talking about the
No,
actual
but
paper.
yeah, I take the checks too.
Yeah, so you might as well take the checks to the contract.
It's a personal preference. You
No,
know,
I'm
so
just
if you
saying
choose to
because it's
take it, then just, then print it and take it.
Okay.
And you can print a single page,
Okay.
if that's what you're asking, because instead of taking all 9, is that what you're saying?
I mean, you can't just take page 9, the last page. You gotta take 8 and 9 to get it received. They
Okay,
have to see both.
okay,
Yeah, I mean, I'm clear. I'm just saying that that's in a contract part. That's very critical because you miss it. If you don't receive it, and you miss the option, and you miss the earnest, then your buyer doesn't stop protected.
correct.
So I mean, it's
But if
critical.
you email it and then you drive by and drop the checks off, they have the copy there. Or if you choose to print the whole thing and take it with you, you have it there as well.
I understand. I mean, my preference is always, I like to be in charge, and I don't like to rely on anybody. So, I mean, I worry, like, if I send an email, I actually want to see them sign it, so that I have it, and I know everything's cool. I know how title companies work, I know how other people work.
I
know how
understand
work.
that, but again, that's a personal preference. Okay, where are we? We're still signing as the agent. we're signing here. Okay, all the forms are signed. We're going to save that, signed as the agent, okay? Now we're going to share this information. Do you want to share the documents? No, not right now. It's thinking. Okay.
So when you
So-
share documents, does it move the documents or does it just change their title? I mean, does it just change their position? You're not sharing them every time when you say share documents, it's only when they're being accessed.
Correct.
Okay.
So when I share them, I'm sending them to my client.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so now I want to share the documents. You know how I told you this to pull the entire buyer packet in, but then as I was going through, the buyer walkthrough was there. Well, that's like the very last thing you're ever going to do. So there's really no need to send that to them right now. So we're going to go through. I want them to sign the IBS. I'm going to click that. The buyer rep, the contract, third party, HOA, affiliation. I don't want the buyer walkthrough. We're doing VA, so the appraisal language is not relevant. Then we have the disclosure there, home warranties, inspection, general information, notification, warning. We don't need the amendment, no lead-based paint. We don't need the intermediary. We want to protect your home, this and this, okay? These are all the forms the ones that I've checked are all the ones that I want to send to my buyer right now, okay? So check them. You're going to hit share. And then it's going to say that Kim Perry has 32 fields assigned and she can sign them, okay? You also have where they can just view, or they can fill and sign, or they can edit in private. We just want them to sign, okay? So now you can put a message here, attached just the forms, yada, 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 yada. You can leave a message for them there. See what it looks like when you send them a message. Okay, now we're going to share it. Let me make sure it's going to, okay. So now we've sent it to Kim for her to sign. And then we get this as Kim, the buyer, okay? So your clients, when they see the email, it says, Kim needs you to sign 16 documents for 236 Rustic Acres, okay? They're going to click on that. It's going to look like this. So the little message that I wrote at the bottom a second ago where I said you could leave a message, this is what it is, okay? So then you're going to view all documents. Start signing, okay? This is your client. When your client receives the email, view all documents, it's going to open, it's going to look like this, and then they're going to say start signing, okay? It's going to ask them to adopt a signature, okay? And it just scrolls down for you to, of course, you want to tell them to read it. You know what I mean? But when they see it, they can just sit there and do this.
No, actually, you're going to get some people who want to read that stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
They can scroll, but
That you can scroll. Yeah, so say it takes me to the next one, then you just scroll down. Okay, you can use the scroll button when they read them. I'm just showing you for signature purposes. I think I missed one. Just on that. Click here. So they're able to just sign. So this is also works. So like if you talk to them and go over the paperwork you're in the car, you've explained everything to them and just say, hey, I know it's probably easier if I just send it to you electronically. I've covered all the forms that we're going to cover. And so now I'm just going to send it to you. via email, so you can just click and sign. So then they can just click and sign. Or, you know, you can just send it to them, say, be sure to review, make sure I put everything where it needs to be. This is the offer price that you wanted, you know, things like that. And then so they can also review and sign as well, okay? So when you're telling them just click the orange, this is what you're, you know what I mean? They're going to say, well, there's an orange screen. Okay, we'll click it. Okay, I believe everything's signed, okay? Then you say, I'm done. Like, oops, let me show me the ones I missed. See, now it's telling them that they missed them. I don't know, I'm signing this form 3 times, but that's what happened there. So your clients will see if they've missed a spot to sign, okay? They have that option. Okay, now I'm finished signing. Go. Not today. Okay. So then now we go back to our loop that sends you an email that says such and so has signed. Okay. Then you go back to your loop. I don't want it to be blue. I want it to be red. Sorry, mine jumps back and forth. Any questions so far?
After they sign, where is it signed? I mean, where is it stored on their end?
The blue screen that came up for me a second ago and it said add your new password, they're able to create an account at that time. Okay.
So they don't automatically save it in any particular file folder. They have to do that last step.
They can say, yes, they'll just create a password and then that way, then they have an account. But I already have an account here, so then we're just going to set
So when they want to look at their documents, when they sign
They
it
just-
to what we have on our,
They can either go back into the email that you sent them
yeah.
and click it, or they can go to Dotloop and sign it with their email
So it's
and
sent out,
password.
but it's not on their
Yes.
computer.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct, yes.
So, thank you for the overview here.
Mhm.
I have a question. So, like, on the when you do the IDS and the buyer's rep agreement,
Mhm.
I usually get those done and I import them in because I'm with the client and I hand them out to them. I go over it with them to sign it. Are you going to get to that where how you import things into the?
We are going to get to that. So where you pull them in from
Yes.
somewhere else, yes, I am going to cover that,
Well,
yes.
speaking of that, I've always seen this post-in-person signing, but I'm not sure how that works.
What's that?
Post-in-person signing. So for example, if I'm with a client and I'm filling all this out, does that mean he can sign it on my computer?
You'll have to log in under him, but yes, he can sign signature computer.
After logging under.
Mhm. You'll have to create the whole deal because they're going to think that it's you signing because you're logged into your document.
Well, if he doesn't have a download yet, I'm just meeting with him.
It'll make it happen through
Oh,
your
well,
system.
okay.
You need me? Are you just looking?
I'm just watching such a fabulous.
So going back 3 subjects ago, to create would you advise your client to create an account or this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I would. Okay, so this is the loop. Clients have just signed. Okay. They send you an email to your email that says that they have signed. So you'll get the dings that say that Kim Perry has signed all these forms. Okay. I just didn't pull that email up. And so now where it said share at one time, now it tells us that it has not. See, these two we didn't send, so it says that they're not shared. So that means they never went anywhere. But it does tell us that the rest of them have been signed. Okay?
So the number next to the person, 2 and 3, right there, it says 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's because it's us and the broker is already on there and shared with the client.
Correct.
Want to do that.
Correct. So this one just shows me.
So let's say like, everything's good, and then they've signed it,
Mm-hmm.
and now I want to share the, third-party finance agreement and the signed document. So I can just add the email of whoever the title person is and send it off to them, and they have it.
You can.
Okay.
However, I'm gonna show you that. Okay, I'm gonna show you that. Okay, I'm gonna open up the forms that were just signed because we have some who've never even seen the inside of the system, right? I want those. I don't want the ones that have not been shared. I'm gonna open them. These are all the forms that had gone out for signatures by the agent and to my client. Now they're coming back. So then it looks like this. Everything signed. Signatures by everybody. Okay, initials. So just kind of wanted to show you what it looks like when it comes back to you. Okay, so then at this point, you know everybody has signed. So now, we want to send the 1 to 4, the third party, and the HOA. Okay? We want to share that with, you said the title company, right?
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
So then we're going to hit share. We're going to add a person. Let me see where I can get into. ATS@gmail. And I just want the title company to view only, okay? I don't want them to sign. I don't want them to fill anything out. I just want you to be able to see it. I'm also going to attach it right here as a PDF to the email.
Quickly, is there like a way when you send it through here that you can put a receipt that they received it?
All we do is then we pick up the phone and say, hey, I sent your forms. Did you get it?
I mean,
Yeah, but no, there's nothing that comes back to say, hey, they were able to view it or whatever. Okay. So we're going to share this with the title company. Okay. If you want to leave them a note, please see the attached, attached executed contract. All right. So then we're going to share that. Roll is required. Oh, yeah, I forgot. So then, we're going to do transaction coordinator, okay? But that's like sending it to title. So then we're going to share.
So like when you were doing the beginning, when you were doing the, put in the Keller Williams heritage, so like Garrett and all those people are getting copies of it with the signed documents too, or how do they?
You have to put it into the paperless system.
Okay, that's another process.
Mm-hmm.
I'm familiar with paperless pipeline, but.
Trying to remember all these passwords just to get into all the different accounts so I can try to make the system run. Okay, so then now we sent this Kimberly is the title lady, okay? So now we're going to open this, we're going to view the documents, and there's nothing she can do but look at it. Okay, there's no changes can be made, none of that stuff. Okay, so now they have it. So if they choose to file and print, file and download, so we're going to download it. Okay, into a PDF. Download. Okay, so it's here. And then I want to name it. I'm going to throw it back into that system and turn into a seller in a few minutes. Okay, so this was 236 Rustic Acres by okay, and I just downloaded that. So now this is just the contract, third party, and HOA. So now title has it. Okay, now they're going to receipt it, which is what you were talking about at that point. Now you have your checks, you have all your stuff as the buyer's agent, you figure out where they want the option to go, and you take it to the office, the listing agent, or where it's supposed to go, and you're taking your earnest money to whatever title company was saving to. Okay? You've already emailed the information, you just have the checks. Sometimes you can come up here and drop them off at the front, keep the option, take the earnest money to the front, somebody will come pick it up. Depending on which title company you use. If you choose to stop by the title company and drop off the earnest money, that's fine. Option still needs to go to the listing agent. Okay. So we just downloaded that. So now we're going to go. I bet my screen's going to be blue. Boo. Probably going to get out of all of these. And you guys will be able to just jump back and forth in between your Dotloop and the system. You just log back into it. I mean, you don't even have to log into it. I do because I have like 3 different ones. Ooh. Okay. So now this was our loop. Title has it. So now they've receipted the option. They've receipted the earnest money, and now you want to pull it back into your loop for some awful reason. You just want to pull it back into your loop. Or say you missed a portion of something and you need to sign it again. Okay. So then we're going to go back and we're going to add documents. We're going to go browse now because we have the PDF on our computer. Okay, we're not going into the template folder. We're going to go browse the computer. Okay, so now we're going to go browse. I want this, and I want it to open. Okay. So now I'm going to open what I just brought in. So here's the contract. Now say I'm the seller, or say somebody sends you an offer. Okay, and so now we've changed rules. So now you're the listing agent. Say this is an offer that comes into you on your listing. Okay, and you got it as a PDF in your email. So they emailed it to you as a PDF, and now you and your clients need to sign the paperwork as the seller. Okay. So then you're going to pull it in the way we just did. Take the PDF, put it on however you're going to pull it in, browse, pull it into your loop. Okay. And then you're going to, oh, my seller needs to sign. So then we're going to add initials. And we're going to assign. I don't know if they'll let me assign anybody.
I'm sorry, this is when, my clients, we accept the offer, but if we do not, I have to say, you have to, it's a counter offer, so you have to redo the,
Okay.
profit or.
So now you guys want to say we're negotiating this offer. This offer comes in for whatever this is, for $150 on your property, and you have it listed for $175. And so you don't like that offer, and you want to counter, okay? So you would only have the contract, third party, and HOA, correct? So then, oh, no, we're not taking $150. So then we're going to go up here. We're going to add. We're going to strike through. You can do that, or you can add a text box, put in 175. I want this to move, and I want to cover that up.
Kim, I have a question on you.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
So, in the scenario that you were describing,
Mhm.
now you're the listing agent,
Mm-hmm.
and the buyer's rep sends you an offer.
Mm-hmm.
You said it comes in as an attachment.
Mhm.
PDF file. Could you just review one more time how you take that PDF file and put it into the document?
Yes. Let me go back out. Save changes? No. Share? No. Okay, so we're here. So this is your Dotloop. Just say you're in a loop.
So let's say like I get the buyer's offer, and it's into my email address with the PDF.
Okay.
So I'm in my email, and I take that PDF file and how do I put it in?
Save it on your desktop. Okay. So then we've done that. Oops. So we've saved it on our desktop. Now we're going to go to the loop where our listing clients are. So the client, so where you did the listing paperwork, add it to that loop. Because all their information is already in there. You have them as the seller already.
Okay.
So you go to the loop where you created the listing. Okay? Open that loop. We're going to say that, let me see if I can find a different one with this address. Okay, so say it's this one. So now this is the listing side. Okay? We're going to add documents. We're going to browse.
Okay. Pulls up
And then it pulls up that's correct. Okay? And then we're going to select that and hit open.
I know what you were showing her after that. So like say it comes in at like you have the list price is 175, and offer 150. Your seller doesn't want that, and then you can just use the add the text or that thing you can just cross.
So now we're going back to where you were. Okay? So now we just added the forms back in. We're caught up on that, right? We're good? Okay. And then now we're going to do a add text. We're going to do 175. We're going to cover that up. Super sensitive. Makes me crazy. We need to cover that up. So we need to add more text. 175. And then you're going to have to initial because you've made changes. See what I'm saying? So if you make any of those changes when the offer comes up, you have to initial that. And then send it back. Okay? To make sure that they know that the changes have been made. Okay? That goes for the closing date, anything like that. But that's how you would do it. You would just cover it with text boxes or strikeouts and add initials.
I just have a quick
Okay.
question.
Uh-huh.
I'm not like a system manager.
No worries, no worries.
So the thing is, so like let's say, okay, they accept that and everything's signed.
They accept the 150 or they accept the 175?
Well, you that changes it.
Okay, they accept
so they accept it and everything's signed, and then you need to do an addendum at some point. So you have to, because addendums.
They do an amendment?
Yeah, an amendment.
Uh-huh.
Yes, okay. So we would, the amendment, maybe just add
So say they've accepted the offer. Everybody has signed, seller, buyer signed, life's good, it's executed, receipted, and everything at title. Now you have it back, and we have our inspection. Okay, we've got our inspection going. Okay, so we're clear on how to make the corrections and get the text boxes and all that. Yes.
Can I do like, for example, 3 or 4 times back and forth the same thing?
You can do that,
No?
but what I would do instead of sending this form back and forth, send an email. My client wants to, look, I've spoken to my sellers, they would like to counter at 175, we would like to change the closing date to December 1st, we would like to da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
So as a novice,
So don't worry about getting the forms, just send an email back. And then you guys can correspond via email until you come up with the final product. And then you can come back in here, and more times than not, you just do a whole nother The buyer side will change the information, send it to you, so then you'll have a clean contract.
Yeah, I always
Okay.
thought you had to communicate through this form.
Just shoot them, you've seen this, you've created this, you've sent it to the seller, they're not happy, the seller agent, you as the seller agent, just send an email back. And you guys go back and forth via email, set up all the strikeouts and all of that stuff to get the offer accepted. Uh-huh, no, you're good. I love it, I love it. Either way is fine. If you're dealing with a difficult person, an offer to resubmit. Or if you're dealing with a rational person who's cool with just going back and forth via email, hey, 150 is not gonna work for us, they want 175, back and forth with email. It's fine.
And then we sell,
And then you sign it up. Mm-hmm. You good there? Okay, so now we're going to the amendment.
Yeah, the inspection comes in.
Okay.
And, the buyer wants $5,000 off the list price, and then they agree, and then you got to do the amendments.
Okay. The amendment to contract is here.
Okay, saw that.
Okay, we're gonna open that. And then, so you say 5,000 off or whatever, so now we want to do, we're only gonna purchase the property for 145 because we had it at 150. The appraisal came in, or instead of fixing the window or doing new carpet, we never say in lieu of repairs, but that's why we're giving the money back. So, we're going to take $5,000 off because we're not repairing the carpet per se. Okay. So now we're here. Okay. And oh yeah, by the way, I know we agreed on December 30th for the closing date. That's not going to work for us because financing or whatever is taking place, or we have to repair this roof and the roofer's not coming out to the 28th. We can't get it re-inspected until such and so date. So now we need to change the closing date till January 16th. Okay? So then we're here. It's your amendment. Everybody, you send it to your clients. They sign, comes back, you send it to the listing site. Okay? Good there? Okay. Any other crazy scenarios that you can think of? Look, I've got an answer. She's on a roll today. She's on a roll.
To be honest, for me, this is very important.
Right.
This is the key.
Mhm.
For me, that
Mhm.
if an offer-
I have another question. I'm a rural person.
No worries. I mean, like I
So like,
said, this is perfect. That's
So
why I
like
like
for like
small
for like
class, I like it.
for like the Dotloop, it's really like all the documentation, the signatures for everything's in order. And another class, which we're gonna get when they do the paperless pipeline, that's the internal stuff for us, make certain everything's cross-checked,
Correct.
and we're not gonna be like sued, and everything's in order, and all the documents. So that's paperless pipeline. They're gonna do that in the tech. I didn't see the calendar. They're gonna have it possible.
I did not see that on the calendar, but that whenever you're ready for the paperless system, you can come see me and I can help you do that.
I've used it before,
Let me
actually.
see, hang on, let me see if any more questions on the Dotloop. Because if not, I'll pull up the paperless. really quick.
So this is all there is to the document.
That's all there is to Dotloop. It's a quick way, electronic way to get your documents out neatly and signed back quickly. Instead of having to drive to the south side,
Right.
sign, come back over here, now titles in San Marcos, and, it's just world fast, world loaded. So that's what this is.
Oh, I'm sorry. One last question is that, no, not the last question.
One more question, you
I
have one
more
more.
like
No, you're good.
my friends is like, you have to like express your thoughts. Verbally, some people can
Perfect.
decide, but anyway, that's how I do it. But my question is that I read, I don't know if it's true, that they're modifying Dotloop to another system, a new upgraded system.
No, I haven't learned it yet.
They're testing it? Is that correct, or is that, what they're doing something that's like a beta test out there?
We are currently beta testing a different program.
Okay. That's all I know, but that's coming down, that's like way off still, right?
I don't know how long away is
But is it
you.
still Dotloop, or is it a different program? Oh,
So we'll talk that later, right?
yeah, no, now is now, but I heard that, so I read that, so I.
So if you have to start programming yourself for change, start programming yourself for change.
And I'm not that
I'm like, see, I have to program myself for change. It's coming when? Okay.
And if it's
You
not
gotta
like
be ready by March 1 for the new thing.
Instead of March 1, 11:30.
Yes, yes. So that's Dotloop in a nutshell. Okay.
What about the other agent? I mean, doesn't have Dotloop, have like C.
Perfect. Never share your loop. Let me do this. I never send my loop to the other agent. I don't care if they use Dotloop. I don't care if you're on the other side of my transaction in my office. I'm not gonna add you to my Dotloop system. I will always send it to you in a PDF, and if you choose to send it back to me in Dotloop, perfect, but I never share my Dotloop. I just don't. Whether it's with somebody in Keller Williams or somebody at Remax. And I know that they use Dotloop, I just don't.
So you only send a PDF?
That's a personal preference of mine, yes. But if you choose to add the other agent, so say the listing agent was an agent here in the office. Add a person. We're gonna say Joycia Strazis. Joycia. Okay. And then she's gonna be the listing agent. She can be on here. Okay? So anywhere on here that the listing agent needs to sign, Joycia's name will show up, and if I share it with Joycia, she can sign it electronically. Or if everything's signed, I decide that now I want to send the contract and stuff to her via Dotloop, I can. But I personally always put it in my, come on baby, what you looking for? Yeah, come to class, come on.
Okay.
But I always personally just send it in an email, PDF, because when Robert told me that he didn't get it, July 15th at 11:45, it said, and it never did bounce back to me. I don't know why you didn't receive it, because it's in the email. Like I was telling him earlier, you can't go back and see if they have it. Because the loops make it hung up. I mean, there's times where I'm waiting for stuff, and I know I just sent it to myself. You know, and it may not come. It may just be a glitch in the system. It may be down or whatever, so just send it via email. As a PDF. Okay. So, any more dot loops? What ifs? I'm good with what ifs and how if and is it possible? No. Okay. We were going to cover something else for you, babe.
Well, you can take it offline because it's the paperless pipeline. But
I will. So no more questions with Dotloop. Okay. If you guys have questions, let me know. Give me a call. Email me. I do. I will get you a business card in just a few minutes.
So if